calls. All right, shifting gears now. We've covered a lot of ground. We're leaving trees, moving on to mortgages. So if you've got somebody in the family thinking about trying to qualify to buy a house, mortgage questions. It's a kind of a shifting landscape. Laws are changing. Policy is changing. Mortgage rates are changing. So you want to call us right now, 312-591-7200. Our expert is Neena Vlamis. Correct?
Correct.
Oh, it's good. I shouldn't have asked. You're president and co-owner of A&N Mortgage. You're the N. Who's the A?
A is Aaron Gittler, and we met about 10 years ago and started our own company.
Were you both mortgageites even then?
Yes, we were. Absolutely.
How did you choose that field?
My background is actually English writing, but my father
I understand.
said,
Perfect logic, yeah.
My father actually pushed me to get into the finance industry.
Do something sensible, honey.
Make some more money. The sky's the limit.
So he's pleased with you.
Yes, he is.
Do you regret giving up any of the English pursuits?
I don't at all. I love my job. It's my passion. We love to get home buyers into their new homes.
You're winking. You're indicating yes. You kind of wish you still had a little bit of that going. So what do we need to know about all the changes in the mortgage biz these days?
So inventory right now is very low in comparison to last year.
That means not a lot of homes available, which is a surprise to a lot of people.
It's a surprise. So what's important is that you get your ducks in a row. Make sure that you have your team. Pick your realtor, pick your mortgage person, pick your attorney, because your property that you're going to want to put an offer on could have 10 other offers in the same day.
And the idea of pre-qualifying has always been the best thing to do. You want to walk in ready to make an offer that'll hold up, rather than say, "Oh, I want the home, but I haven't qualified yet." They'll not even pay attention to you.
Right. You want to get pre-approved, and pre-approved means that.
So that's different from pre-qualify?
It is. Pre-qualified usually is a 10-minute telephone call where we just kind of go over your income. A pre-approval is when we actually look at your income, your pay stubs, your bank statements, your tax returns.
And by saying you're pre-approved, that means you're going to back them up. You're going to give them the mortgage. You've agreed that their finances line up the way they need to for you to back them.
Absolutely. We're going to put that loan through the system and make sure that they come out approved.
All right. Call, ladies and gentlemen listening, 312-591-7200. She's only going to be here a few more minutes. To get the best rates, that FICO score, is that still the magic formula? You need to get that?
Absolutely. You want to make sure that the number one thing that I tell borrowers to do is always put your credit cards on auto pay for minimum payment. That way you can never miss a payment.
Oh, that's very interesting. Smart old me, I'm just fastidious about this, and I have, every few years I happen to miss it. That is really smart.
So when you're on vacation, you won't have to worry about that credit card minimum payment at least being paid, and that's going to increase your FICO score because you won't have any missed payments. You want to have at least a 700 credit score, and that would be a great goal.
Boy, remember the old days when it was in the
600, 680? Yeah.
Gee.
Now we want the cream of the crop borrowers, and that way you can get cream of the crop rates.
And if you don't have a 700 score, you can still improve that. What are the basics on that?
Making sure that you pay your minimum payments on time. You have to watch out for those medical collections and bills that come in the mail. Don't just put those to the side. Make sure that you pay those. People's Energy, Neucor Gas, make sure that you pay those small bills. Those small things can really affect your credit score if you miss a payment.
And you can look at your credit score, which is a smart thing to do as well. Not your score necessarily, but your credit report. And you can go through that and see anything that you've missed. Here's another point of advice I've heard. Don't have too many open credit card accounts.
You want to have about 5 trade lines. You want to have a couple credit cards, maybe a Visa and a store credit card. You want to have a mortgage and a car payment, and maybe a student loan. Hopefully you'll have paid those off quickly and pay them on time, obviously.
Yeah. Are you approving it as more than you're rejecting of people who come into your office these days?
Absolutely, yes. The bank's guidelines are tightening up,
so
are loosening up, excuse me. They're loosening up in comparison to the prior years. But the banks are going to start lending again. You're going to see more developments come about because the inventory is low. But they're going to be smart about it this time.
And refinancing, is that all over with? I mean,
absolutely not. There's still people out there with high interest rates. The rates are in the mid-3s.
What would you say? If you have a rate at what point and above you should consider refi?
I always say if you can save about $100 a month, it's worth it.
Yeah. And is that an easy calculation to make yourself?
No, you should call me to make it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I think they do have calculators online. You can play around it and figure out some of that. Yeah, there's all this pent-up demand. You just feel that there's going to be a dam break and just people flooding out. And with the inventory dropping back, you're seeing builders again starting to build. It's very healthy. I'm sure you're encouraged. Was it tough going through those few recession years?
It was. It was very slow. We tried to stay ahead of the curve, making sure that we had other products such as FHA, VA financing for our borrowers. But we did stay ahead of the curve, and I predict that we're going to see a little bit upward in interest rates over the next few months, a tick upward. But I do think that we're going to see ourselves come out of this.
Yeah, even if you saw rates go up a full point, it's still incredibly low.
Still very
Heck,
low.
I was thrilled, whatever it was, 7-8 years ago when I got a 4.5 fixed 15-year mortgage. Wow, 4.5, honey, we're jumping up and down. Now it's, oh, God.
Now the 15 years less than 3%
Yeah.
on a conforming loan.
But I have 6 years to go.
So you're done.
Yeah, I'm locked in. But I'm happy. You know, it's pretty nice. What are the questions you're getting typically from people? What most of the questions are what? Can I qualify? Is
Yes.
that the basic?
How do I qualify for a mortgage? What is my debt to income ratio? Can I still eat sushi out? I don't want to be house poor. So what I do is I sit down with the borrower and I make sure that we are at about a 40% debt to income ratio. So your
That means
income versus debt.
yeah. So you're making. Can you convert that to numbers? You know, $10,000. You should have no more than $7,500 of debt.
You should have no more than about $4,000 for housing and minimum payments on credit cards.
On a monthly?
On a monthly basis.
Yeah. That's tough for some people.
Yeah.
Because they got to discipline themselves. They've got
Right.
to stop spending on certain things. You want it to be comfortable, but you don't want to make it too much of a reach.
Right. You don't want to be eating ramen noodles. You still want to be able to afford sushi.
That's a line I think it sounds like you've had before. Hey, Andy, you're on WGN. Go ahead.
Do a refinance about 2 different times.
Andy, I cut you off there. Start over. Go ahead.
We tried to do a refinance a couple times, and they're saying that because we missed it by a couple months when we did a refinance years ago, they haven't. I don't know. Does she know what I'm talking about as far as there's a certain date?
She's shaking her head yes.
And were you trying to?
What is that all about?
Yeah, just
When are
jump
they
in.
gonna change that?
Sure. Were you trying to qualify for the HARP program?
Yes, exactly.
She did know.
So the HARP program was for people with homes that were under value, and you owed more on your mortgage
Underwater,
than your
then.
underwater. You owed more on your mortgage than your home was worth. How much do you think your house is worth?
Well, they're saying about 280.
280. And how much?
Maybe. Well, I should say like 300, I guess.
300. And how much do you owe on your property?
Well, approximately two something, but then we had a
HELOC or a second mortgage?
Yeah, exactly.
And how much is the balance on that?
That's still like 24,000.
Yeah, it's like we can, give them some general pointers on that. We can't give you.
What I'm trying to make is that they're telling me that there's a certain date that the government made a certain date, and anybody, even if you missed it by 2 months, you can't get you cannot refinance.
You can't refinance on the HARP program, but we do have other programs that you would qualify for if you at least have 5% equity.
So anyway, Andy, yeah, you did miss the boat on that one, but you should not think that you can't still get a mortgage.
Well, we've tried to about multiple people, and they end up saying that we just don't qualify.
So you can give me a call at the office, and I would be more than happy to assist you.
It's called A and
At the end of the show.
well, just look up A and N, 2 letters, A and N Mortgage out of
Chicago, Illinois. We're at 1945 North Elston.
yeah. There you go,
Very
Andy.
helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, there are programs that have come and gone that people have been taking advantage of, and it's a challenge. So what is your website?
It's A as in Apple, N as in Nancy, M as in Mary, T as in Tom, G as in George.com. So it's ANMTG.com.
Okay. Nima, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Good job. You have fun?
Yes.
First time on the radio?
You're fun.
It's scary.
Yeah, thanks, Bill.
Something quite different. It's a story that you read, but that's not quite all of it. It's a story you listen to, but that's not right either. In fact, it's a whole new literary genre. Wait till you hear about this next on WGN Weekend.